Today on Locked On Rockies, the team needed a spark, and it returned in the form of Hunter Goodman and a pretty darn good debut from one of the Rockies' trade deadline acquisitions.
You are Locked On Rockies, your daily Colorado Rockies podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Rock on Rockies fans, welcome into the Locked On Rockies podcast for today, the 26th day of August in the year 2026. I am your host of the Locked On Rockies podcast, Paul Holden, bringing you your daily Colorado Rockies talk right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, where you can find your team every day. And if your team is the Colorado Rockies, guess what? You're in the right spot, because that's what we do around here, free and streaming on your favorite streaming services and on the Locked On Rockies YouTube channel, where you can be part of the show. You can fire off your Rockies hot takes. You can let me know what's on your mind when it comes to the Colorado Rockies. Today, we'll talk about the Rockies snapping the losing streak thanks to some timely offense, and including Hunter Goodman returning to the lineup and doing exactly what we needed him to do, hit a big home run. Strikeouts were still there as well, but Hunter Goodman returns to the lineup, and the Rockies are back in the win column. We'll take that. Plus, a memorable day for Mason Adams here as the Rockies get a very solid debut here for the Rockies, as Mason Adams, who the Rockies acquired at the trade deadline this year, he gets his big league debut in a big-time way as the Rockies finally get themselves back into the win column. A long week of losing here washed away with a nice 3-1 victory over the Nationals. We'll also take a look here at the finale, where the Rockies are looking for another road series win and to keep chipping away with that quest towards avoiding 100 losses. Let's dive into all that and more on today's episode here. And want to thank you again for making us your first listen of the day. I'm, of course, Paul Holden, your Rockies fan extraordinaire, and I've been bringing you your daily Colorado Rockies talk for over 6 seasons now. That's hundreds of episodes of the Locked On Rockies podcast, going through the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between here. Before we get to Hunter Goodman, here is a stat from Thomas Harding here. Rockies right-handed pitcher Mason Adams is the second Rockies starting pitcher in their major league debut to limit opposition to 1 or fewer earned run and 3 or fewer hits, while striking out 5 or more. The other, Antonio Senzatella, April 6, 2017 against Milwaukee. How about that? Talk about a full circle moment there for Senza. But exactly a great confidence building debut right there for Adams, who is was ready for this opportunity. He was hungry. He had a couple of solid performances at the AAA level with Albuquerque here after the Rockies acquired him. And then he goes out there and has a very nice couple of innings worth of I'm gonna. All right. Hello. I'm back. I maybe a little internet connection issue there, but maybe the audio was still going through and just the video cut out here. Just wanted to go over some of the stat line here. 4 innings worth of work here through 75 pitches. You knew they were going to probably keep him on a pitch count and everything. 4 innings. Obviously, you'd sit there and be like, oh, you'd like to go deeper than that, but 4 innings worth of work, only 1 earned run, had the 3 walks, right? That's obviously the issue and the boo-boo that we're talking about here. But 5 strikeouts there. Strikeouts in crucial times as well, especially when you're talking about navigating the walks, having a couple of guys get on as well. And then as Adams is removed from the game, Manfredi comes in here, and he with as Adams led up with I think it was a leadoff double in his in the 5th inning there. Manfredi was able to come out there and get crucial strikeouts at important times there, especially after he airmailed a ball over the catcher when they had him picked off at second base and were able to get out of it. But it's so important to be able to pick up those strikeouts at the crucial times, and that's why Adams was able to limit damage, was able to navigate the walks, and then that was why Manfredi was able to shut the door and keep it prevent the second earned run for Adams to cross, because he was able to get those clutch strikeouts when they needed to, and the Rockies end up getting 10 strikeouts on the day. We've seen it time and time again with the Rockies, I believe, going into this series here. Before the Rockies, with the Rockies going 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position, they're like roughly like 4 for mid-30s right now in their recent stretch here with runners in scoring position. The Rockies have really struggled with runners in scoring position, and that is can be really attributed, not solely, but due to the Rockies striking out in horrible situations, in moments where they have guys on. You saw it in this game, in game 2 against the Nationals. We've certainly seen it time and time again where the Rockies have base runners or an opportunity to score, an opportunity to break a game wide open, and then they strike out. So on the flip side there, for the Rockies pitching staff, which has struggled mightily, especially a pitching staff, and focusing on the starting pitching staff, certainly struggles to get strikeouts, to get a 5 strikeout performance. That's the type of stuff we're looking for, especially across 4 innings there as well. That's obviously more than a strikeout per inning, which is exactly where you're trying to be. It's just such an important way to get outs, and it's such a good way to stabilize and get yourself back into an inning and back into a groove. And that's exactly what the Rockies got there from Adams. And through the Rockies here, the Rockies did have to dip into the bullpen quite a bit into this one. The Rockies end up using 6 pitchers in this ball game here, but Hill, Bernardino also picking up a couple of big strikeouts there. Exactly what they needed to do, especially when you're talking about, there is a hit late in the game. We know how quickly the Nationals can reignite things, can get themselves back into ball games, quickly flip the script on the Rockies, as they've done basically every single game that these teams have matched up this year. But in this one, for the Rockies to be able to get those crucial strikeouts, a great sign there, and a great solid first step in the career for Adams, who is going to have chances now. I mean, with Freeland on the IL here for the extended period of time, at least a 15-day, looking towards the rest of the season here, with there being 30 games left, like we talked about, prime audition time for young Rockies arms, especially, and for Adams to go out there. Pretty darn good first debut there, and a pretty darn good way to introduce yourself here to the league. And always, of course, you love to see the family. You love to see how important and how exciting this moment is for them. And the Rockies, again, I'm glad that the Rockies are a team that has had a lot of major league debuts this year. This should be a season where these guys are getting work, getting opportunities, getting a taste of the major leagues. And especially in the case of Adams, right? This is a guy that wanted to break through and get there. Now establish yourself as a big leaguer, right? Make it so when as the Rockies are going into next season, and they got to, and the biggest question mark and the biggest concern and the biggest issue that they'll face will be the starting rotation. Make it so that you're part of the solution. Make it so that you have made a claim where we're all of Locked On Rockies in the offseason is talking about, hey, we at least know that the Rockies are going to be going and Mason Adams will be in there. We know that it can be a variety of the guys that we might see. And maybe some of these bullpen guys try to get the rise to starter. Remember when the Rockies were almost going to have Jimmy Herget be a starter? Anyway, I just, again, was it the greatest debut ever? No, certainly not. It wasn't perfect, but it was a solid 75 pitches and gave the Rockies a chance to win the game. That's at the end of the day, especially for Rockies starters, that's what that is the bottom line, or the baseline is. Did you leave the Rockies in a position to win? Did you give the Rockies an opportunity to win? Did you manage and keep the game close and do that job? And that's exactly what he did in the debut there. 3 hits there with the 3 walks in that 4 innings worth of work. 48 of his 75 pitches were strikes as well. So tip of the cap to Adams there. Big league debut, bucket list, lifetime career goal achieved right there. And hopefully it only goes up from here. And speaking of positive things for the Rockies, Hunter Goodman back in the lineup. Let's talk about that, and let's talk about the ugly side of the strikeouts as well. Coming up next on today's episode of Locked On Rockies. Before we do that, though, got to tell you about the folks that help make this show possible, and that includes FanDuel. Baseball fans, if you think you know who's hitting a homer today, FanDuel is giving you a free chance to call your shot with daily dingers. It's easy to play. Just make your free pick for who you think will hit a home run in their game. If you're right, you'll receive a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. Best of all, you can make a free pick every day throughout the Major League Baseball season. Daily Dingers is another fun way to stay engaged with every day's games, whether you're following your favorite team or keeping an eye on matchups across the league. Every game has someone capable of going deep. Now you get the chance to make your prediction before first pitch, and we're talking about Hunter Goodman. Why not? Hunter Goodman hits that homer there in the return, and Hunter Goodman has punished the Washington Nationals throughout his career. So why not ride the hot hand and see if Goody can do it in back-to-back days? If you're ready to play your game today, join all the action at FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com to play Daily Dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball. Back at it here for segment number 2 of today's episode of Locked On Rockies here. Thank you again so much for making us your first listen of the day, free and streaming on your favorite streaming services and on the Locked On Rockies YouTube channel. Be part of the show. Fire off those Rockies hot takes here and let me know what's on your mind, including this one's a bit of a throwback. Someone went to Kyle here, went into the Wayback Machine of Locked On Rockies, was talking about going back for when Dexter Fowler announced his retirement. And this was a comment from yesterday. Threw me a ball in the first base line in Dodger Stadium 2008, I think, looking to have a jersey made. Hey, I'd love that. Dexter Fowler, easily on my list of favorite Rockies of all time. And another guy that I think is going to end up on that list, Hunter Goodman. The Rockies, big bat, big hitting catcher, returns to the lineup here, and the Rockies get a big, massive home run, and he knew it right at the bat. How good does that got to feel for Goody? Coming back from the IL, missing that time, knowing that your pace, knowing that if you can go on a little bit of a heater here, you might be able to make a little history and etch yourself into the history books here. And it goes up against a team that he's done big damage against in a situation in which the Rockies needed a spark, needed energy, needed life. And, well, they got that. They got it from their leader, from the guy that they have constantly been able to turn to here and make it so that they're able to get the job done. Again, it wasn't a flashy, run away with it type of victory for the Rockies, but it just goes to show you how much more complete this lineup is when Hunter Goodman is in there, because they have to introduce that power bat. You have to worry about the fact that you got the slugging catcher holding up the middle of that order there, especially when you factor it with some of the guys that have been swinging it better of late, including Castro and Norby. Obviously, we'd like to see Mickey get himself back into a groove. A nice day at the dish for Jordan Beck, picking up a couple of hits there for him. But again, it just hammers home how important and how crucial Hunter Goodman is. It's just one hit. It's just one home run, but it's the thing that puts the Rockies out in front. It's the thing that establishes themselves as putting themselves into the lead there, jumping out in front. Type of stuff that the Rockies really struggled with in this losing streak, and really struggled with, especially at home. Back-to-back games now, the Rockies have been able to jump out because they've been able to tag the Nationals pitching there with a long ball. And it just reminds you how immediately impactful a guy like Hunter Goodman can be for the Colorado Rockies, and how important his bat has been for the lineup here. Just in case you're curious here, so far this season, Hunter Goodman's put up a 2.4 WAR season so far. Last year, he finished at 3.7. We'll see if he ends up making it there. We'll see if he's able to make that big of a jump, because he'll, with the games that he's missed there, played in 144 games here. So he'll actually, even if he was to play every game down the stretch, he would be just a little bit under the games played from last year. So we'll see how they end up being comparable there. But He's got this year, though, he has surpassed his home run total by 3. He is 22 RBI away from matching last year. He's improved in the walk category here and has improved in the OBP slugging and the OPS numbers here so far as well. OPS plus roughly around the same so far. He's a stud. Hunter Goodman is good, man, as we know. On the flip side here, the Rockies, though, struggling with strikeouts here. Another double-digit strikeout performance here, especially headlined by, listen, I love the fact that the Rockies were Cole Carrick came in, lighting the hair on fire. Everything was good. Cole Carrick can't be batting 2 with striking out 3 times and going through the stretch that he's been going to for a bit now. The Rockies need to flip things around here and probably drop Carrick back a little bit here until he can get himself back into a more solid groove and back into being an impactful guy here. Over the last 15 games for the Rockies here, he's got 56 at-bats. He's only got 11 hits in that for a 196 average, a 274 OBP, and a slugging of 304. 17 strikeouts in that time as well. He's got 11 strikeouts in his last 7 games here. It's been a tough last 30 at-bats for him here, and only a couple of walks in that time as well. Zooming it out a little bit more, 30 games here, the last 110 at-bats. He's got the 27 hits. He's driven in 11 there and got the 12 walks, still striking out 29 times there, and got the 248, 333, and 367 line there. So teams are adjusting to Cole, and now it's up to him to start making the adjustments back. Slumps happen, low points happen, but like we said, got to channel that energy and that frustration there into breaking out of this slump and being a contributor there, but can't be having 5 strikeouts from the top of the order. That especially when that accounts for just about half of the strikeouts for the Rockies in this ball game. Got to be having much better performances and can't be going down on strikes at that part of the order there. Everybody in the lineup, with the exception of TJ Rumfield, ending up with a strikeout there. Good news for the Rockies here. Ezequiel Tovar was able to come into the game late. I don't believe he got, I can't remember if he got an at bat at all. I believe he just came in to play some defense in the final frame there. So good news there. Obviously, they got Tovar in there, and then Goodman coming back from the IL, as we were talking about the impact of the injuries here for the Rockies. So great to see that Tovar is not looking like he's going to be missing time. And then, of course, in the last frame there, of course, you hate to see a walk from the closer, but walk from the closer. But another moment for Romano here to shut the door and slam the door shut here for the Colorado Rockies. He's been really awesome since they've gotten him. So hopefully this is now the start of momentum moving in the right direction. You'd love to pick up this series win here in the finale before going on and facing a Braves team that has obviously been much more of a force of nature this year here so far, as the Braves currently sitting at 77-55 with a plus 111 run differential there. That's just a little bit higher than the Colorado Rockies, negative 144. But before you get to the Braves, you got the Nationals. Let's take a look at what lies ahead for the Rockies in the finale, and we'll do it all next, coming up here on today's episode of Locked On Rockies. Before we do that, though, got to tell you about the folks that don't make this show possible, and that includes Amazon. And folks, back to school season, it's in full swing, and our friends at Amazon, who are providing this limited break, got you covered, because they got the clothes, they got the gear, they got the tech, they got the lunch boxes, they got everything you and your family needs, and they got it for a great price, and they can send it right to you. No going to all the stores, no running around, no going for the late nights after practice or auditions or whatever you're doing, because once the school year starts, it's full speed ahead. You got all these things to do, and you got to make sure that your kids are prepared for a great year. And make sure that you're hitting everything on the list there and making sure that you're saving money and spending less. Yes, spending less on your kids. With Amazon's low back-to-school prices, you'll spend less on your kids because every dollar you don't spend on them, well, it's a dollar you haven't spent on them. Shop back to school at Amazon. That's back to school at Amazon.com, and spend less on your kids. Back with you all here for segment number 3 of today's episode of Locked On Rockies. Thank you so much for making us your first listen of the day. The Rockies, they are now 12 wins away from avoiding 100 losses. We'll see if they are able to avoid that and get themselves back on track with their third road series win in a row. Yes, if you recall, before the Rockies had that tough homestand there, getting swept in back-to-back series, the Rockies did actually pull off back-to-back road series wins, and road series wins against the National League West, a rarity for this club. And now they'll have an opportunity here to do it again. And at least according to ESPN right now, the Nationals pitcher is undecided. Maybe it's a bullpen day. Maybe they'll be bringing up somebody to go out there and do some pitching here. But this is the defining moment here of this game and of this series. Will end up on the shoulders of Tanner Gordon here. This is Tanner Gordon needs to show us a little something here. Tanner Gordon needs to go out there and be able to give us some efficiency and be able to clean things up a little bit, and especially bounce back here after getting tagged pretty well against Cleveland there. 5 1/3, 5 earned runs, 2 walks there, 9 hits allowed, which is a shame. In the 4 innings worth of work he had against San Francisco in the appearance before that, only 3 hits, no runs allowed, 4 strikeouts. And it's just that consistency. It's the consistency and is key there. But Tampa Bay roughed him up as well. Was able to go through 6 innings, but coughed up the 6 runs, 4 of them earned, 2 home runs as well, and 3 strikeouts. We know that this is a Nationals lineup that's got plenty of thump and can do plenty of damage here. Even after all the changes here, they've been right in the mix of being able to just be a couple of big swings away. They really blew it open in game 1. And then they were just a couple of moments away there in game 2 from doing exactly what they've been, a total thorn in the side of the Colorado Rockies this season here. 76 2/3 innings for Tanner Gordon, and he's given up 99 hits in that time with 16 hits. Of the 16 of those 99 hits are home runs, and that whip is almost at 1.5. It's at 1.49 with the ERA at 5.75. This is like we talked about, as we keep bringing up the audition, this is a big one here for Tanner Gordon. Series win on the line, road game. You got to go out there and set the tone. You got to go out and give the Rockies a solid start, especially when you think about how much the Rockies have had to dip into the bullpen in this series here. So it is crucial for Tanner Gordon to go out there and be able to get the job done and do some damage here for the Rockies here. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I mistaken? I think I am mistaken. This is a 4-game series. I thought I misread. I thought this was a 3-game, and then it was a 4-gamer with Atlanta. I apologize. So, series win, not on the line. I misread the schedule, but we'll see who's going to end up pitching here. At least a series split on the line, and the Rockies getting that 52nd win is on the line here. My apologies. I should have known that it was. I'm so used to the Rockies having the Thursdays off, right? They've had Thursdays off for what felt like over a month at this stage. So I thought it was going to be the day game here for the Rockies tomorrow. But no, that's not the case. They will have one more in the finale on Thursday before heading to Atlanta to be playing over the weekend there. So my bad. Apologies there. But great. I mean, again, that doesn't change anything for Tanner Gordon. That doesn't change any sort of the plan or the approach here. Give your guys the chance to win. That's what we talked about with the debut of Adams. That is the goal of every Rocky starter, as we talked about through the year, but especially in this last stretch, It is so important for the Rockies starting pitching to give the Rockies a chance. The offense is good, but being in holes and being in multi-run deficits early in games, that just can't be happening. And it's great to see into the first two games of the series. I know how the first one ended up, but for the Rockies to miss out and to falter after being the first ones to take the lead. It's really important to get those first runs across. It really is important to find yourself in the lead, work with that, and allow those pitchers to work with that confidence that they are pitching with the lead. So as much as Tanner Gordon's got to perform, really big and important for the offense to back him up as well here and going forward. And it wasn't much, but letting Adams have that little bit of confidence, that little bit of buffer to just have that couple of runs, especially with the fact that the lead got cut in half right after on a home run, just like the Nationals have responded every time in this series. Great to knowing that he's got that confidence, being able to go and say, shrug off the fact that home run happened because he's got that 2-run lead. It's a win-win. It's a booster there for the Rockies, and it's a booster there for the club. It's just a good way to start things off and move things in the right direction here. But really would like to see some good stuff from Tanner Gordon here. Is the Rockies now looking at this, and if Adams is staying up, which I'm going to assume is 3/5 of the Rockies rotation, young guys, rookies here at this stage, with Adams, Hughes, and Gordon there. I don't know, Gordon maybe falls into that same Ryan Feltner type of category here as well with that. But the Rockies will be turning to the young gun there, Hughes, in the finale in the day game. But we'll have to see what Tanner Gordon's able to cook up here for the Roccos. And it's better news that it's a 4-game set against the Nationals here. If you're able to get this one and then get the series win, nice little 3-gamer there, 3 wins there to help you and get you another road series win. That would be gravy for the Colorado Rockies, but you got to get the job done. You got to go out there and get the dub done, and you got to slow down that Nationals offense and don't let them chip right back away. That's the one thing that certainly is brought up. As much as we talked about the Rockies having a fighting spirit this year, boy, oh boy, have the Nationals shown a fighting spirit against the Rockies here, constantly answering and constantly responding to them there. But apologies again for my little goof up on the schedule, but that's all right. We're not far from perfect, right? All right, we'll be reacting to Game 3 and be giving you all the breakdowns here on the next episode of Locked On Rockies, and stay up to date with all things around the league with all the great stuff going on Locked On MLB, with Locked On MLB Game Night, and of course Locked On MLB and the Back to the Bullpen podcast for you there. We also got you covered across the state of Colorado with Locked On Broncos, Avalanche, Nuggets, and Buffs, all free and streaming on your favorite streaming services. Until next time, I'm Paul Holden saying so long from the Locked On Rockies podcast.